Hey everyone, welcome back to Twilight Princess 3 Heart Run. This is Eesgooshee.
And this is Doppelsnopalot.
And I think it's time to herd some more goats. Just sitting staring at the clouds. Oh, that one looks like a Triforce. I think this is supposed to serve as sort of the horse grass tutorial if you don't do it in the spring, which I didn't, because I'm just trying to get through this part of the game. I'm sorry guys if this is boring, because this game has you do a lot of stuff before you get to the first dungeon.
I'll come up with some more dumb stuff to make us argue.
If you remember the first goat herding video, and I got it all really quickly, and he said he'd bet me $10 that I couldn't do it again. That's because he'd actually seen this one before. Like I said, we recorded the first 4 videos with commentary before throwing it out. And yeah, this does not go nearly as smoothly. Some of these goats are assholes, I'm telling you. Almost sounds like they're moving.
They've been in the barn before, they know how bad it is.
This guy runs away. This is one of the jerk goats. Get in there. Get in the barn.
Go goat!
Are you rooting for the goat?
Yes. Trying to oppress him.
And I didn't even see the other goat by the door right there. Like, I see it now. He was just sort of chilling by the door, almost ready to go in, but when I ran by, he left, so I looked for him for a while. Then he... This goat really is an asshole. Also, I don't know what triggers it. There's some scene where a goat comes charging at you and you have to grapple it and throw it to the ground. And that's sort of foreshadowing how you do that to the Gorons and then to the final boss. I forgot how to activate it, but I don't need to. I know what to do. I had my practice file. I'm not going to show the menu screen again, but if I did, you would see that the practice file actually gets a heart for each dungeon, because for my practice file is basically more remembering where everything is and how to get through the temples than seeing if I could beat it with 3 hearts. Cave of Ordeals, I didn't do a practice run at all, because I figured if I was going to beat it, I want it recorded. Also, I can't think of what I'm trying to say right now. Something about the Cave of Ordeals, maybe?
It's about that guy's mustache.
I don't know how to feel about that guy's mustache.
Is it a mustache, or is it an enormous lip piercing?
I don't know. I think it's supposed to be a mustache. It's so far apart. But that's another thing about this game, is that everyone was talking about how they try to make it too realistic, and everything's all brown and whatnot. But the character design is still pretty out there, and I like it. I like that it's not trying to be, you know, Dragon Age. Well, Dragon Age wasn't even out when this came out. But it's not trying to be Lord of the Rings. It's still being its own thing with the characters with odd facial deformities and bizarre mustaches. I love this shot right here, too, how they look at each other. I really think this game should have voice acting. I really do. Who would be who? I think Jennifer Hale should be Zelda. Because I think she could pull off the regal, formal style of speaking. Regal, formal style of speaking without sounding humorless. I think... Whenever I think of Zant having a voice, I always think of whoever did the voice of Makarov in Modern Warfare 2. Like that sort of high-pitched, just sort of really slimy voice. Where he's not like booming badass, he's like...
I'm trying to think of who do right now the first thing that came to mind for Ganondorf was Willem Dafoe.
I say Stephen J. Bloom.
Alright, yeah. Willem Dafoe doesn't sound big enough.
Willem Dafoe could do that.
He could.
He all sorts of could. I don't know, whenever we meet a new character. I don't know who would voice Midna. I mean, Jennifer Hale could do that too, because she could probably voice any female role in anything. Also, this right here, there's money in here. You actually can come down here earlier and walk up to the chest, but it won't let you open it without the lantern, because it's too dark. But I'm getting money because I do need to buy something later.
Why don't you steal it like you stole all the money to buy it with?
I think there's either 3 or 4 things in this game that you need to buy. Maybe 5. You need to buy the slingshot, you need to buy the first cannon shot out of Lake Hylia. You need to buy the bomb bag. You need to buy water bombs, so it's 5, and then you need to buy the cannon repair towards the end of the game. Also, we forgot to talk about that baby. That evil baby.
I hate that baby.
Last time we discussed whether he's more capitalist or Marxist. Or I guess I should say socialist.
I don't think he's socialist so much as he has the bad patterns of bad socialism.
I feel like it looks like a sword right there.
I guess.
I said he's super capitalist and that he's the Andrew Ryan of this game.
That sword would still do bludgeoning damage, not slashing damage.
I'll accept that.
So, 150% to undead.
So I should have kept it and used it to fight the Re-Dead Knights and the Stalfos Warriors.
Yep.
And like all of the undead enemies in this game. There's a lot of undead enemies in this game. And there's also a lot of bug enemies. This is the buggiest Zelda game. Ha ha ha.
To be fair,
I'm not talking about glitches, I'm talking about actual insects.
To be fair, it's a fantasy game, so there's gonna be like a bajillion oversized bugs and undead and goblins.
Alright, now I'm breaking into Shadow Mode. I mean breaking into the spring because Ilya locked the door. And yeah, this is where the plot catches up with you. Before this, it's all like, oh, it's just a normal day, oh, some kids got kidnapped, those scoundrels, we'll teach those monkeys shenanigans. Nothing too out of the ordinary. And then this scene happens and the plot starts.
Yay, plot!
So it only took 4 videos.
They had to develop the character of Link as being boring.
Maybe they're trying to be Half-Life 1. Because that game began with you going to work. And then you were at work for a while before the plot actually happened. I know I'm complaining a lot about this game. I do like this game a lot. I was a bit disappointed with it the first time I played it because it's a little too similar to Ocarina of Time. But playing it again, judging it by its own merits, it really is a fantastic game. And, oh no, the plot. And yeah, obviously I wouldn't be playing this game if I didn't like it. I wouldn't be doing a run of it. Also that arrow that they shot her with, supposedly that's a poison arrow, and that's why she loses her memory. That's something they don't actually explain.
Generally, the better something is, often gets easier to criticize because then you can be more specific.
That's true.
Like why was Clash of the Titans bad? Because it didn't have a good story.
Because it didn't have good acting?
Yeah.
Because it didn't have good visuals? Because it was just overall a piece of shit movie?
Yeah, so we took 30 seconds talking, not even that much, about how that movie was bad, whereas at one time in an Arby's, we spent an hour pointing on everything that was bad with The Dark Knight. Because
they're very specific, localized things and not just a general overall feeling of this is shit.
Because if you take every detail, like the voice inflection of character at 1 hour in, that's all. It only takes up an hour worth of talk.
Oh, by the way, there is actual use for this game. Actual use for money in this game. Most Zelda games, money is pretty useless. This one, it powers the magic armor, which of course I'm not going to get. In the first game, it was actually used as arrows, but every other game it's useless. Wind Waker tried to make it useful by making you buy a shit ton of maps from Tingle, and it was a pain in the ass. Fuck Tingle. And the director of that game actually came out and apologized for it publicly. He said, "We were rushed, I thought it was a good idea at the time. I'm sorry, everyone." And really, that is the really big glaring flaw with Wind Waker. There isn't much else you can criticize it for.
That was Pyramid Head's cousin right there.
Semicircle head? Or whatever
Sure.
that shit. But yeah, and then I turn into a wolf. And then I die. That's the end of the game. So, next time on 3 Heart Run, there's not going to be a next time because
Credits!
the game's over. That's the end of the game.
Steal your body.
You can't continue after you die. See you guys on my next run. It'll be like Resident Evil 4 or something. Bye.